we will start with the crash course. We'll start with unit number 1. First, we'll revise the topics which are there in each of the units, and then we'll go to solve some of the MCQs. Okay. So unit 1 was distributed in 3 parts. That is, first is mean value theorem. Then second is uh, finding the expansions using Taylor series and Maclaurin series, and third is indeterminate form. So the first one which is there is mean value theorem, which are there are 3 types of theorems. Rolle's theorem is there, then Lagrange's mean value theorem is there, and Cauchy's mean value theorem is there. So let's just revise what is Rolle's theorem. Can anybody revise it quickly? What is Rolle's
Yes,
theorem?
ma'am.
Yeah, quickly.
Rolle's theorem is a theorem in which we are given the 3 or more conditions. That conditions are f of x should be defined in the closed bracket AB, which are the extreme values, and then it should be continuous in the open bracket AB. It should be differential in the open bracket AB, and last is f of a equals to f of b.
Then what happens? Anybody else? Somebody else?
Then okay.
Someone else. Oh, Ajad, what is the condition? If all these 3 conditions are satisfied, then what happens in Rolle's theorem?
f dash of c equals to 0.
Yes, correct. There exists a C in that closed interval. When you are saying AB, close AB, or square bracket AB, it is closed interval. Okay, closed interval A comma B is your entire domain, and the point C should belong to open interval A comma B, such that f dash of C is equal to 0. Okay, that means the tangent is parallel to x-axis. Where f dash of C is 0 means tangent is parallel to x-axis. At least one point will be there. Okay. Then the next one was Lagrange's mean value theorem. In this, what happens? The condition which was f of a is equal to f of b, that has been given that is removed. They can be different. F of a, it has been relaxed. F of a can be different from f of b. Then also there will be a point C such that what is the output? What do we get as the
f of b minus f of a upon
S
b
of c
minus
equals to f of b minus f of a upon b minus x.
F dash
is
of
equal
C.
to f
F
dash of c?
F
Yes,
dash of C.
that's
Yes.
dash
very
of
good.
c.
Okay. Yeah. So Lagrange's mean value theorem gives you a point C in the open interval a comma b such that f dash of C is f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. There is also an alternative method, alternative formula for Lagrange's mean value theorem, which is given in terms of a closed point to a, and that interval which was closed a b will now be formed as closed a comma a plus h, where h is a small increment or small change in a. Then what is the formula? F dash of what is the use of it, and what is the equation? Can anybody just recollect it? F of a plus h is equal to
F of A plus HF dash of A plus theta H.
Yes.
give me the entire expression exactly what it is.
F
This
dash of a plus theta h is equal to f of a plus h minus f of a upon h.
yes. So how do we use it?
And we use it
And
to
to
find
calculate
the
the approximate.
Yes, we use it to find the approximate root f of a plus h. If suppose your root is close to a, then obviously in a small range of that a you will get the root. So if h is a small increment done, then f of a plus h can be a root. So we are going to find that f of a plus h if it is equal to 0. What do you mean by root of an equation? When you put the value of a plus h in that equation, f of that value will become 0. So we use the same equation in the form f of a plus h is equal to f of a plus h times f dash of a plus theta h, where theta lies between 0 and 1. So that theta is very small, we can neglect it and we can try to approximate and get the value. This approximation method is called Newton's Raphson method for finding the roots, and it is obtained from the Lagrange's mean value theorem. So f of a plus h will become equal to f of a plus h f dash of a, and then using the recursive method we will find that very close root of the function f which is near to a. Okay, that's one of the use. So they can ask you this alternative statement of Lagrange's mean value theorem, direct statement of mean value theorem, as well as Rolle's theorem. The next thing which is there is who implies whom. Whether Rolle's theorem implies Lagrange's mean value theorem or LMVT implies RMVT. That is another thing. So what do you think? from the statement only it is clear. F of A is equal to F of B in Rolle's theorem, so which is a special case. And in Lagrange's mean value theorem, it is general. They can be different, they can be equal, anything. So what will happen in that case? That LMVT implies RMVT. That means RMVT is a special case of LMVT. Correct? Okay. Then what is Cauchy's mean value theorem? Can anybody tell me that? Cauchy's
F of
mean
x and
value.
g of x are continuous
Let
functions in a comma b, and f of x and g of x are differentiate in a comma b, then there will be f of dash upon f of dash c upon g of dash c equals to f of b minus f of a upon g of b minus g of x.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. That's the statement of Cauchy's mean value theorem. And now next time when I'll ask the question, Saurabh won't be giving the answer. Okay. We'll give chance to others also. Okay, Saurabh, I understood that you have done all the studies nicely. In case if you don't understand anything, you can ask. Okay. So what is the statement? F of B minus f of A upon g of B minus g of A turns out to be f dash of C upon g dash of C. Okay. Now tell me whether Cauchy's mean value theorem implies LMVT or LMVT implies CMVT. I think so. Sakshi, you can tell.
Ma'am, can you repeat?
What is the implication? CMVT implies LMVT or LMVT implies CMVT?
LMVT implies CMVT.
Others, do you agree to this?
No, ma'am. LMVT is a special case of CMVT.
Yeah. Actually, so that's what happens in an MCQ. That's the problem.
LMVT.
Yes, CMVT implies LMVT.
LMVT.
Yeah, because when you what is the reason? Yes, Supriya, can you tell the reason?
Ma'am, we know the formula of CMVT after all the condition that f of x and g of x is continuous, then they are differentiable. Then the main condition, that is f dash of x upon g dash of x equals to f of b minus f of a upon g of b minus g of a. In this case, when g of x equals to x, that is the when we
That
take
gives it.
its derivative,
Yeah.
that
Then
is
it
g
becomes
of
LMVT.
x, it will be 1,
Correct.
and that form it will become LMVT from
Yes,
CMVT.
absolutely right. So everybody is trying to recollect it now. This all things we have discussed in the lectures. So this is absolutely right. If we take g of x is equal to x, then CMVT gives us LMVT. That's why CMVT implies LMVT. That is, LMVT is the special case of CMVT. Now the other type of question that they can ask you is that for which pair LMVT is true. So in that case, you'll have to identify the continuity, differentiability, and then the existence of the point. They can ask you find the point C for which LMVT will be true for this particular function. Such type of examples will be there. Those all questions what we have solved in the tutorial. Those are more than sufficient for you to understand. Only the numbers will change. Okay. Now what is the other thing that is there? They'll give you that the statements of CMVT are so and so. 4 options are there, out of which you have to select one. In that, one of the option will be that f is continuous, g is continuous in closed interval, they are differentiable in open interval. Then directly they'll give you that then there exists a point C belonging to open interval such that f dash upon g dash is equal to so and so. So is this the correct statement? There is one more condition which is very important. G dash of C should not be 0. G dash of x is not 0. That should be there for all x belonging to that open interval a comma b. In one of the option they can give you for all x belonging to closed interval. So for endpoints, what will happen? Differentiability.
It will be 0.
Differentiability we have not defined on the open closed interval. We have defined it on open interval. So we are interested only in the open interval for CMVT. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that is about LMVT, CMVT, and RMVT. The other question they can ask is separate into intervals whether the function is increasing or decreasing. So what concept we are going to use? F dash of x, if it is greater than 0, then what happens?
It is increasing.
Correct. Greater than 0.
If dy by dx is greater than 0, then it is increasing.
And dy by dx.
If less than 0, then it is decreasing.
Others are convinced with this? Yes? All are listening or not? Or just you have put on the video and that was the answer given by Purva?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Other students, please respond. F dash of x, if it is greater than 0, then the function is strictly increasing. And if it is less than 0, then it is decreasing. From that, how will you get the interval? I'm just asking the questions that I have to check whether you all are listening or not.
Ma'am, by wavy curve method.
Yes. You will have to find the limits of that x and the function which is given to you, f of x is equal to, you are going to find the roots of that equation, and then for f dash of x, what happens greater than 0 in that particular range or not, you have to cross check. So such type of example we have solved in the what you say, in the lectures also. Do you remember? On MCQ also you'll have solved that question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so first what you'll have to do is your function f of x which is there, you have to take the derivative of that. You'll get a once you take the derivative, you'll get an expression which is obviously generally it's a polynomial or it is a trigonometric function. Then also you'll be able to understand whether it is greater than 0 or less than 0. So for example, if it is a polynomial, then the degree of, suppose f of x is 3, what will be the degree of f dash of x?
2.
2.
It is 2.
Yes. And then it is a quadratic equation. Therefore, you'll be able to find the roots of that equation. And once you get the roots of that equation, you will be getting the points where you have to identify whether f dash is greater than 0 in that range. Suppose, for example, the roots are 2 and 3. Then you have to check what happens below 2, that is x less than 2. What happens between 2 and 3? What happens between greater than 3? All that will give you the range or the interval in which the function is increasing or decreasing. Is this okay? This is one type of question that will be asked.
Yes.
Okay, so that is about mean value theorem. They can ask you whether the Cauchy's mean value theorem is valid for this particular functions or not. Where you'll be given two functions f of x and g of x, and you'll have to find out the conditions f dash of x, g dash of x. It should exist and it should be defined, well defined in the interval where it is given. After that, they can ask you what is the point C. That is also one of the question. So you go through the question that we have done. Also, the question which I have shared with you, the ones which are for 1 mark, those you have to do thoroughly, because they will be, obviously they'll be there only. 2 marks questions which are a bit simple, they will be included in the final university exam. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you have any doubt in this first chapter?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. Then chapter 2 is Taylor's and Maclaurin series. Okay. So in that, just a second. In Taylor's and Maclaurin series, what is the Taylor's expansion? F of x is about which point? The expansion is in powers of x, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And it is about the point.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is about which point?
H. About point 2.
0. There is no h in Taylor series, in Maclaurin series. I hope everybody knows that. F of x, what is the formula?
Yeah, ma'am.
F is continuous and differentiable infinitely many times or many times. Then what is the expansion? Maclaurin series expansion. F of x is equal to f of
0
F of
plus
plus
h
h
dash of
plus
x
x
x
plus
square by 2
x square by 2
factorial f double
factorial
dash
double
of
dash
0.
of 0.
Very good, very good. F of x is equal to f of 0 plus x f dash of 0 plus x square by 2 factorial f double dash of 0 and so on. So that is going to give you the Maclaurin series expansion. Okay, here we are writing it about 0, and the necessity is that the function should be differentiable in the interval where the function is defined. Okay, now then using this we have found some standard expansions. All those expansions, 13 expansions which I have shared with you, all of them will be there for 1 mark. E raised to x expansion, e raised to minus x expansion, sin x, cos x, tan x, sin hx, cos hx, cot x, no, cot x is not there. Then log of 1 plus x, log of 1 minus x, 1 plus x raised to n. 13 expansions I have given to you. So you should be able to make a mind map to how you will recollect it during the exam. So for example, e raised to x has all the terms and the coefficients are factorial. So 1 plus x square by 2 factorial plus x cube by 3 factorial dot dot dot. Then the expansion for e raised to minus x is alternate plus minus signs. Because of the powers of x are, wherever they are odd, they will have negative sign, and the powers which are even if you replace x by minus x, that won't change. So it will be 1 minus x plus x square by 2 factorial and so on. Then the expansion for sin x is an odd function, so all odd powers will be there with alternate plus minus sign. Then cos x is an even function, so all even powers will be there, and it even power starts with 0, so x raised to 0 is 1, so 1 minus x square by 2 factorial and so on. So all this expansion you should know just by heart only, then only you will be able to answer it quickly, or you should be quick enough to solve it by Maclaurin series. Find at least the first 3 terms. If you are able to find, then you will be understanding what is the expansion. Okay. 10x and 10 inverse x, those functions are having special numbers, 2 by 15 minus 3 by 7 by 315 and all. Those coefficients are there. So those you should remember properly, then you will be answering it quickly, else you'll have to solve it. Okay, and they won't give you some weird coefficient. They'll give you the coefficient to be same, only the signs will be plus and minus. So even if you try to solve and get the first 3 terms, you will be able to answer the MCQ without remembering also. Okay, so those 13 which are there, I hope everybody has those 13 expansions.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Has anybody tried to remember it in some trick or something like that, so that we can share it with others, no? Yes or no? If not, then we'll go ahead, because what I do is I try to find the first 3 terms quickly with the Taylor series expansion, and some of them are quite easy, up till at least e raised to x, sin x, cos x. If you know 10x, you will be able to write down what is 10hx. If you know sin x, you will be able to write sin hx. If you know cos x, you will be able to write cos hx. So they are related to each other. Log of 1 plus x and log of 1 minus x. These terms, clearly it won't have constant term, because when you put x is equal to 0, we get log 1, and log 1 is 0, isn't it? So that's why they'll start with x. Only you have to be careful about the signs, whether all of them are negative or alternate plus minus. So log of 1 minus x is all negative, and log of 1 plus x is alternate plus minus. That you will be again able to find.
मॅम
Yeah.
आपण याच्याने काढू शकतो एक साइन एक्स आणि कॉस एक्स ची ट्रिक आहे. आपल्याला फक्त e टू द पॉवर x माहित पाहिजे, म्हणजे 1 e टू द पॉवर x चं एक्सपान्शन काय येतं,
1 plus
e
x
टू द
plus
पॉवर x इज इक्वल टू 1 प्लस x स्क्वेअर बाय 2 फॅक्टोरियल. तसं आपण आपलं आणि एक अजून एक फॉर्म्युला येतो, e टू द पॉवर ix इज इक्वल टू cos x प्लस i sin x कॉम्प्लेक्स मध्ये.
that is Euler's theorem, Euler's equation.
मग आपण e टू द पॉवर ix आपण वरती काढलेलं e टू द पॉवर x इज इक्वल टू 1 प्लस x स्क्वेअर बाय 2 फॅक्टोरियल.
In that you have to put ix. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Then
We compare cos x plus I sin x, and then we get
Okay.
sin x is equals to x minus x cube by 3 factorial plus x to the power 5 upon 5 factorial, and
Okay.
then we also get cos x.
Yeah, for cos x and sin x, we get the expression with the help of that Euler statement, that e raised to I theta is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. So for cos and sin, you get from that. How will you get for 10x? You'll have to go for actual division, or you are going to write cos 10x as sin x by cos x. Still you'll have to, or you have to write it in the form of Euler's formula, e raised to I theta, which becomes a bit lengthy. So rather
Ma'am,
than
tan x ची म्हणजे अशी काही ट्रिक नाही, पण ते कसं करणार आपण, थोडं लक्षातच ठेवावं लागणार. कसं x प्लस x क्यूब बाय 3 प्लस 2x टू द पॉवर 5 बाय 15, x ची पॉवर 2 ने इन्क्रीज होणार, बरोबर.
10x is odd, so that is very easy to remember. What are the terms? All of them will be odd powers. See, where you go wrong, if you have to find out what are the powers also. Sin x is odd, 10x is odd, sin hx is odd, then 10hx is odd. So that's why the powers will be odd only. So don't forget about powers. Only thing you have to be careful about the coefficient and the signs, isn't it? Correct, Om. So you have to be very careful about the sign. So if you know one 10x, then 10hx is easy. Because what will be the thing? 10x is all positive, then 10hx will have alternate plus minus sign. And coefficients of 10x and 10hx are same. 2 by 15, 7 by 315. So these numbers, since you have gone through 1-2 times, it is quite easy. There is no trick for 10x and 10hx. You have to go for actual division, or you have to remember these coefficients. And that will be useful ahead also in finding. Yeah.
What about tan inverse x?
10 inverse x, yeah, 10 inverse x, actually we have done it with the help of differentiation and integration. Do you remember that technique? If your function is y is equal to 10 inverse x, then dy by dx is equal to 10 inverse derivative is 1 upon 1 plus x square. And then we have used the expansion of 1 upon 1 plus x, which is nothing but 1 minus x plus x square minus x cube. And then we have integrated it and we got the answer of 10 inverse of x. So it will take 3 steps at least. Or you'll have to remember the formula. So you should be quick enough to use the method, or you should be good at memory. Any one thing.
Ma'am, it is alternate plus minus sign.
Which one you are saying?
Tan inverse.
1 upon 1 plus z, no?
Yes, yes. 1 upon 1 plus x is alternate plus minus, na? So you will get.
Yes.
So
1 minus x minus x square minus x cube later on.
Yeah, correct. But the method is clear. They won't ask you sine inverse because it is very complicated, but they may ask you tan inverse. And if they ask you sine inverse, you will have to learn it. Sine inverse expansion is not very easy to remember also, because it is something like, I think so, 1 upon 2 x plus 1 upon 2 x cube by 3 plus 1 into 3 upon 2 into 4 x raised to 5 by 5 or something like that, which is actually, I'm teaching now for this many years, so I remember them. But for you all, remembering it very quickly will be a lengthy process. So what you'll have to do is go by the method and then solve it. So one way is to at least find the coefficients of first, second term. Then you will be able to get that whether it is plus sign or minus sign, and that will be easy by Maclaurin series. So first derivative of sine inverse you should find, and second derivative also you have to find, because the first term sine inverse of 0 is 0, and therefore the constant term won't be there, only odd powers will be there. So you have to find first derivative as well as you have to find the second derivative. Getting it? So that much quick you should be if you are not able to remember it. But for sure, those 13 formulas will be there. Any doubt in this to anyone? Yeah?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So again, what are the two very important formulas for using standard expansions and solving are log of 1 plus x, log 1 minus x, and 1 upon 1 plus x, 1 upon 1 minus x. These expansions are very important. So can anybody tell me what is the expansion of log of 1 plus x, and how there is a small way to remember it also. Log of 1 plus, if you know log 1 plus x, you will be able to get it quickly. What is log of 1 minus x?
A log of 1 plus x is equals to x minus x square by 2 plus x cube by 3 minus x raised to 4 upon 4 and so on.
Yeah. So when you're doing this, what is the how you are going to identify the answer quickly, that I'll tell you in short. So obviously log of 1, when you put x is equal to 0, you'll get log 1. Log 1 is 0, therefore no constant term. Then orally you should be able to find out what is the first derivative. What is the first derivative of log of 1 plus x? 1 upon 1 plus x into 1. So when you put x is equal to 0, it is 1. So the first term is positive. Getting it? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And then immediately 1 upon 1 plus x derivative is minus 1 upon 1 plus x the whole square. So obviously when you put x is equal to 0, it will be minus 1. And that's why, are you getting it?
Maclaurin.
That's why the second term will be negative. So it is x minus x square by 2 factorial, which will give you 2. And then when you go for one more derivative, don't calculate actually the derivative, but minus 1 upon 1 plus x the whole square derivative will be 2 times. Isn't it? minus of minus plus, and 2 into 1 upon 1 plus x the whole cube. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So that 2 number, 3 number will come in the consecutive derivatives, and that's why those factorial which are there, they won't remain, and therefore they will become simple integers 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, because you're going to get the continued product. So that's the way I keep it in mind. I don't remember the numbers x square by 2, x cube by 3 and so on, whether it is all plus or minus. First 2, 3 derivatives, if you are able to calculate orally, which takes hardly 20 seconds, then you will be able to get the formula correctly. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Now let's go to the next topic, that is Taylor series. So there are 3 forms of Taylor series, which is the form, when do we say that the expand the given function in powers of x minus a, then which is the formula? That is very important formula, it is going to be asked.
F of a plus x minus a into f dash of a plus x minus a square divided by 2 factorial into f double dash of a and so on.
Yeah, so and what is the left hand side?
F of x.
Given function should be f of x. This is one more thing. So in the objectives, they will give you f of x, they'll give you f of x plus h. So understand that when you are writing in the powers of x minus a, we have to start with f of x is equal to f of a plus x minus a times f dash of a and so on. Is it okay? Now in your exams also, in your INSEM exams, many students have written plus dot 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 when your expansion function f of x is a polynomial of degree 4. How many derivatives it will have? If suppose f of x is a polynomial of degree 4, how many derivatives will exist?
4.
Yes, 4. So after fourth derivative, that is fifth derivative onward, there will be 0, na?
0.
So
Zero.
still you all had written plus dot 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 dot. So that means you have not understood that this Taylor series is going to end. It's a finite polynomial. So Taylor series expansion in powers of x minus 1 or x plus 1 will end. If you write plus dot dot dot, then it is wrong. Are you getting it? So such type of mistakes you'll have done in your INSEM paper also. So right now in the MCQ exam, if they give you plus dot dot dot, then that's not an answer. Is it okay? The one which stops after
Okay, ma'am.
5 terms, that will be your answer. That's the hint to click the answer without solving. There will be 2 options which will have plus dot dot dot. Okay, so those should be eradicated first, and then you will take the ones which are remaining, and from that you have to find the 1 or 2 coefficients. You will understand the answer. Not all coefficients. No need to find all coefficients. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then the next thing is in Taylor series, expand the given function in powers of x. Then what will be your Taylor series? F of x plus h is equal to f of h plus x f dash of h plus x square by 2 factorial f double dash of h and so on. That's your expression. Your left hand side should be f of x plus h. Okay.
Yes.
And what is the formula for finding the approximate value using Taylor series? If that is asked, then which is the formula which is used to find the approximate value about the point x? Then what you are going to write?
F of a plus h into f dash of a.
F of a plus h is equal to
H into f dash of a. So on.
Is that h into f dash of a? Means what is the first term? What's the first term?
F of a plus.
Correct.
A
See,
plus h.
yes, f of a plus h times f dash of a and so on. And if suppose f of a plus h form is not there, then will you say that none of this is the option? No. The option can be f of h plus x plus h is equal to f of x plus h f dash of x. That is also the possibility, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so please see what happens. Many students, they get confused with the options and they select wrong option. So that should not happen. Okay, so try to see that you select the options, you read the options nicely. when you go through the options A, B, C, D, I'll take some examples. That time you'll see, looking at the first option, you feel that that's the right answer. But there is some small change or small trick they have done. All should be plus one, somewhere there will be minus, and you tick it because you have not read the question properly. So please, most important thing is you have to read it properly. Okay. So that is about Taylor series. Then the last is indeterminate form. In indeterminate form, they will ask you the first basic definition, that is what is the value of limit as x tends to a, f of x upon g of x, if f of a and g of a are 0. So what's the answer?
Limit x tends to a, f of x by g of x is equal to limit x tends to a, f dash of x by g dash of x.
So what is that value? This option won't be there. What you're saying, that option won't be
Dash
there.
of 0 by g dash of 0.
This will be there in the option, but that's not the answer. What is the answer? It is f dash of a. Now, how did you say 0? X is going to a.
F dash of a by g dash of a.
G dash of a.
Yeah. Then the next question they'll ask you that f dash of a and g dash of a are both 0. Still, then what's the answer? That means you have to apply that
F double dash of
F double dash of a upon G double dash of a.
Right. These two questions will be definitely there for 50%. One of the students, one question will be there. Then the remaining 50 students will get the second question, because in indeterminate form, this will be there. Then again, they'll ask you what are the 7 different forms of indeterminate. 0 by 0, infinity. I asked in the orals also. Around 70% were able to answer, but remaining students were not able to answer all 7 different forms. So since their options will be there, you will be obviously understanding, but read the given questions nicely, because one of them may not be, for example, 0 by infinity. 0 by infinity, if it is there in the option, then that's not the correct one. 0 by infinity is 0 into 0, which is 0. Correct? So read the options nicely. So 0 by 0, infinity by infinity, 0 into infinity, infinity minus 0. These are 4 forms. And then 1 raised to infinity. Yes, 1 raised to infinity. Then
0 raised to 0.
0 raised to 0 and infinity raised to 0. These are the 7 indeterminate forms that we have studied. Okay. So 3 are exponential, 2 are product and subtraction, and 2 are 0 by 0, infinity by infinity. Okay. Fine. In that, they will also ask you the question of find the value of unknown. So you'll have to use 0 by 0 form and try to see what is the value of that unknown which is there. One more question that they can ask is, what is it? Values of exponential limits. 1 raised to infinity, infinity raised to 0, or 0 raised to 0. In that, where the students go wrong, you have to apply log on both sides. You directly write down the answer of log. You don't write down the answer of L. You have to take exponential on both sides. That will give you the answer. Is that okay?
Ma'am, there is also direct formula for 1 raised to infinity and 0 to the power 0.
F of x raised to f of x raised to g of x, that type of function. Na? That also you can use, not a problem. That is also will give you the correct answer. If that is fine with you, you can go ahead with it. I think so. This we have shared also during the lecture, this method.
Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that is also fine, not a problem. So first unit, these were the topics that were there. I'll just share one PDF in the Meet, and we'll try to solve quickly few questions of MCQ. Then we'll go to the next topic. Just a second. Let me share my screen. The PDF can't be seen. Yes, can you see now?
No, ma'am.
Can you see now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am. So look at the first question. The expansion of f of x in ascending powers of x about a equal to 0. Now this question is asked in a different form. What is the question actually? Can you tell me?
Maclaurin's.
series.
Yeah, this is Maclaurin series. About a is equal to 0 means Maclaurin's. So what is that answer? f of 0.
Option B.
B.
Option B.
Yes. Now look at option B and option D. They look same. If D was earlier, students can make mistake and select that this D is the answer. But division by 2 factorial, 3 factorial is not there. So answer is B. Getting it? Okay. Then, for example, next one is this expansion of e raised to 1 by x. So are you going to actually solve this question and get the answer Maclaurin series? Are you going to find? No, just e raised to x.
X instead of we are going to substitute 1 by x.
Correct. So what's the answer, everyone? And or different, all other students also give the answer. Huh? What it is? What's the answer?
B option.
B
is the
option.
answer.
B option.
Correct. Yeah. 1
B
plus 1 by x
option,
plus 1 by 2 factorial x square and so on. Okay. Then look at question number 7. The coefficient of x raised to 10 in the expansion of log of 1 minus x square is. So first of all, you should expand log of 1 minus x square. What is the formula for log of 1 minus x? Expansion of log of 1 minus x is all negative terms, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's why the answer will be A or D. First, that you have to take into consideration. B and C will never be the answer. So if this is the last question which you will solve, and if you don't have, suppose you have 1 second or 2 seconds left, then never tick B and C. Your luck, if you are not able to solve it, A and D, one of them you tick. Maybe if your luck is good, you will get the answer immediately. But what is the answer actually?
D.
A option.
Answer is
D.
Answer is D, not A. In the
D
option, yeah, in the solution it is written A. That is wrong. Huh? That's why I took this question. See, log of 1 minus, who got minus 1 by 10 answer? So, yes, somebody got na minus 1. A somebody said na. In the option it is written A, but that's not the answer. Answer is D, minus 1 by 5. So just tell me how you get it. In place of x, you have to put x square. What's the expansion of log of 1 minus x?
Minus x square by 2 minus x cube by 3.
Yes. So that is your expansion. So what is going to replace? X is going to be replaced by x square. Correct. So your first term will be x square, second term will be x raised to 4, third term will be x raised to 6, fourth term will be x raised to 8, and fifth term will be x raised to 10. So no ways your coefficients are changing. So that is x upon x minus x square by 2, which is there, minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 3, minus 1 by 4, and minus 1 by 5. Those only will be our answers. So minus 1 by 5 will be the answer. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
कुठला क्वेश्चन चालू होता नक्की?
Seventh.
Okay.
In the option, the one, this PDF I have shared with you, and down the answers are given. In that also it is written A, but the answer is D. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now this question, which is question number 3. Can you see the question number 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What you'll have to do, put in place of x raised to 4, and in this one as it is. So rather than writing all the terms, you know the expansion of log of 1 minus x, all negative terms.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so which are the terms? First terms will be x minus x minus x square by 2 minus x cube by 3. Okay, so those three terms are not changing. That means which is the option which is having those three terms as it is? Option A. Can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
So answer will be option A only. Don't
Yes,
go
ma'am,
for
option.
solving
But
also.
it is minus sign.
But it has minus log
multiplied by
Correct. Very good. That means you will be not doing that mistake. Here there is minus sign outside. So all this minus will become plus, and the answer will be
B.
B is the answer. Very good. Very good. See, even I could do the same mistake. I did look at minus sign. Then obviously there will be many students who can do that mistake. So please be careful like that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Question number 4. This answer is also written wrong in the options. Huh? How you are going to do this? Coefficient of x minus pi by 3 the whole square.
f of x
We
minus
can
a
expand.
expansion.
minus x square x pi by 3 चा about.
Yeah, so see again, you want to solve it quickly, so you should know the formula properly. What's the formula? F of a plus x f dash of a plus x square by 2 factorial f double dash of a, correct? X minus a the whole square f double dash of a divided by 2 factorial. So you should know that degree of, if this is the degree is 2, then the coefficient of that will be double derivative 2. If it is there, then those many derivatives will be there. So f double dash of a divided by 2 factorial, that should be your quick answer. And for that you have to take the derivative of log of cos x 2 times and put x is equal to pi by 3. You are not going to write entire expression. समझ में आ रहा है? शॉर्टकट से कैसे सॉल्व करोगे? पूरा लिखने जाओगे तो 1 मिनट क्या 5 मिनट लगेंगे. So you should know that the coefficient of x minus a to the power n is f raised to n upon n factorial. What it is? F raised to n upon n factorial.
N factorial.
Getting it? And that's why now it is 2, therefore it is f double dash of a upon 2 factorial. That is, what's the derivative of log of cos x? First derivative 1 by cos into minus sign, that is minus 10x. Then what's the then what's the derivative of minus 10x? Minus secant square x. Correct. So minus sec square x at pi by 3. So sec pi by 3, you can use your calculator. Sec pi by 3 is root 2, and therefore square of it will be 2 with minus sign. So your answer will be option C. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
In the answers it is given D. So but the answer is C. Is anybody getting the answer to be 2? Reply quick. The answer is minus 2 only. Okay. So please don't rely on entirely on the option.
2 factorial पण होतं ना खाली.
Yes. Yeah, correct. But then, yeah, sorry. No. Wait. What is the value of cos pi by 3? It is half, na? Not 1 by root 2. It is half. So it will be 4 by 2.
4.
Yeah, minus 4 by 2, and that's why it will be minus 2. Correct. Okay.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
it yeah. Clear, na? So henceforth, such type of questions, if they are asked for 1 mark, how you are going to do? You are going to use the formula. Coefficient is f raised to whatever is the degree of the expression divided by that factorial. F raised to 2 means second derivative of f divided by 2 factorial. So if the question was x minus pi by 3 cube, then it would have been triple dash of f divided by 3 factorial. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then let me go for some other questions. These are same type of questions. This one, coefficient of x minus 3 raised to 4. In the expansion of this about x minus 3. So it is the fourth derivative at 3 divided by 4 factorial. But it is quite easy, I think so.
1 असेल ना.
1 is answer. This hint I had given you in the while solving the coefficient of x raised to 4 will be the coefficient of x minus 3 raised to 4 in the expansion by using Taylor series. 1. Don't go to solve also. This will come for 1 mark, definitely. And many students will start solving it. But what is the answer? What is the shortcut? That coefficient of highest power of x minus a will be equal to the coefficient of highest power in the given function. Coefficient of x raised to 4 is 1, and that's why the answer will be 1. Okay. Yes, question number 23. Which of the following function would have only odd powers of x in its Taylor series expansion? Yes, answer will be A. Sine is an odd function.
Cube.
Correct. But x square is an even function, तो even की power odd रहेगी तो भी वो even ही बन जाएगी. And cos is obviously on its own is even function. So no, B, C, D will not be the answer. A will be the answer. Okay. Yeah. Then what about this one? Limit of the series f of x is equal to 1 minus x plus x square minus x cube plus x raised to 4. What will be the answer of this? Can anybody tell?
And it is log of 1 plus x.
That expansion is
Expansion is log of 1 plus x.
yeah, it's not that one, but you have to use the
1 by
expansion.
1 minus x.
1 upon
Expansion.
1 upon 1 plus x, na?
Minus.
Alternate plus minus is for 1 plus x, and all plus, getting it? So that is your expansion. This is 1 upon 1 plus x.
2 by 3 also.
A.
2 by 3 is the answer. Everybody is getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Got it? How it is? Put this way. F of x is nothing but 1 upon 1 plus x. Okay, and then what you have to find? The limit as x goes to half. So what will be that? 1 upon 1 plus half. So 1 upon 3 by 2, and it will become reciprocal as 2 by 3. That's your answer. Okay. Now this one which is there, all plus sign, that is 1 upon 1 minus x.
1 minus x.
Yeah. And then you have to use 1 minus half, that is half, and therefore the answer will be 2. D option. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What about now? Limits questions are there. Limits question will be definitely asked for 1 mark. Okay. For example, this one, limit as x tends to 0 sine 2x upon sine x. What's the answer? Quickly. You have to write it as log.
LCM.
1 upon sine 2x into
2 cos 2x.
2 cos 2x upon
Minus 2.
Yeah, divided by what it will be? Sine x. 1 upon sine x into cos x. So
Cos
here
x.
you don't go for one more time, directly adjust that 2x in the numerator and x in the denominator. Limit for sine term will become 1, only cos term will remain, and when you substitute those values, you will get the limit, value of the limit. What is that?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, sin x by x is equal to 1, so we can adjust that 2x multiplying 2
Not
at the
here,
denominator.
not here, because it is log of sine 2x, na? Once you take the first derivative, you have to adjust.
Okay.
Yeah. So what is the answer to?
1.
Yeah, correct. Okay. This what is the form? Now this question 39, limits you will be able to solve. How will you solve the limit? It is quite easy. One step will require. Log x upon 1 by x you have to write.
Yes,
Log x upon 1 by x, derivative of log x is 1 by x, and derivative of 1 by x is minus 1 by x square. So 1 by x will get cancelled, and minus sign will remain. Yes. So it will be, answer will be A, 0. Okay. Now what they can ask you of same question, not the limit, but they'll ask you the indeterminate form. So what's the indeterminate form?
0 into infinity.
0 into infinity.
0 into infinity.
0
Correct.
infinity.
Yeah, correct. And what about now this one? What is this form? Question number 40.
Infinite minus infinity.
Limits will be,
Your LCM would be taken.
Very good. Yeah. Now suppose this question number 43. How you are going to start solving question number 43?
Log sin x upon log tan x.
Correct. You are going to use log to the base a b formula, that is log of sin x upon log of tan x, and then you will go about by taking the derivative for the first time and then adjusting sin x by x, tan x by x. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Few of the question we have already solved. For example, x raised to y minus y raised to x upon x raised to x minus y raised to y. This example we have solved. So it takes at least 1 minute. So rather than that, the options which are there, you can clearly see the answers. That will click you quickly. I think so. Option B is the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. Then question number 26 we have solved. What's the value of P? This question is there generally. What is this question? Question number 36. We find the value of P. So sin 2x
Minus 2.
We have to solve it as cos 2x plus P cos x, and you will get it as to be 1 plus 2 plus P is equal to 0. So P is equal to minus 2. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So these are the questions which are there. You please try to go through them. All of them are not difficult. For example, 59th question. This question which is there, na, the value of limit a raised to x, 50th question. This question can also be asked. Okay, a raised to x plus b raised to x upon 2 raised to 1 by x. So I had told you that number of terms will give you the power. Yeah, and a and b will be there. So it is root ab is the answer. Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
suppose if it was question number 50, number of terms are how many? 2. So that will be your fraction power. 1 raised the answer raised to half, 1 by 2. 2 terms are there, so 1 by 2. If 3 terms were there, it will be 1 by
3. 1 by 3.
okay. And what are the powers? What is the function inside? It is product of the base a and b. That's the answer without solving it.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, we can do that question by arithmetic mean also. Means arithmetic mean is greater than equal to geometric mean.
How will you use it?
Means we'll take arithmetic mean of a power x and b power x. It will be a power x plus b power x by 2. It will be always greater than equal to under root of a power x into b power x.
And then you are going to remove the powers because of 1
1 by x will
1 by
cancel
x
that.
will cancel it out. Okay,
Yes.
fine. But then, because your limiting condition is there. Fine. That way also you can take. Correct. Just see now. Question number 51. The value of the limit is finite. Then which of them is correct? This type of question can be definitely there. When you put x is equal to 0, yes, that time what you will get? E raised to 0 is 1, cos 0 is 1, e raised to minus 0 is also 1. So what is the answer? A minus b minus c is
A
equal to
minus
0.
B minus C equals to 0.
करेक्ट समझ में आया ना और दो इक्वेशंस भी दे सकते हैं फॉर एग्जांपल क्वेश्चन नंबर 62 look at question number 62 they have given two options at a time so first equation is obviously the one which we have done what is it a minus b plus c because here it is plus c na what you had told me in question number 51 you said a is the answer
Yes, ma'am.
how a will be the answer
Ma'am, it should be B. B plus C.
B. C plus
the answer,
B plus
the
C.
answer
B.
कोई भी आंसर है ही नहीं
No,
it is
no.
a minus b plus c
A minus b
plus c it should be na
Yes, ma'am. Plus A minus B plus C.
minus
so now yeah yes please hello but then c option is there which is giving you the reverse signs
Ma'am, option तो गलत
C option is correct, ma'am.
C option is correct. Option C is also right. Basically, A minus B plus C is equal to 0 should be the answer. But if that is not there, and if you multiply with minus sign, then minus A plus B minus C is equal to 0 is the answer. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
So the most
Yes,
correct.
ma'am.
Suppose this type of thing, happens in your final exam, and you are not convinced that directly this is the answer. Actually, multiplying by minus sign, 0 is not going to get affected. So this is answer of the question number 51. But suppose you're
मैम
not
पर B
convinced.
आता है
हाँ बोलो.
Yes, ma'am. If we
B आता है मैम.
differentiation for first time.
डिफरेंशिएट करना पड़ता है एल हॉस्पिटल रूल से.
How you are
तो
going
B
to
आता है.
get 2A? No, so, listen now. How you are going to get 2 times A? B कैसे आए?
I am telling B
Okay,
option.
okay.
A plus B
Option-
plus C.
Can it be plus C? E raised to minus x का डेरिवेटिव क्या है? माइनस ना?
तो मैम 2 बार लेंगे ना तो माइनस माइनस प्लस होगा.
फिर से एक बार देखो. A will be plus, that's fine. Minus B cos x will be minus of minus plus sin x, and then plus sin x, and then again the derivative of sin x will be cos.
cos x तो वो भी प्लस होगा.
लेकिन वो कितना डेरिवेटिव ले रहे हैं आप? कितनी बार ले रहे हैं?
2 बार.
फर्स्ट एंड सेकेंड, एंड दैट इज डिवाइडेड बाय 2 रहेगा ना फिर 2x स्क्वायर का डेरिवेटिव. Isn't it? So divided by 2 is equal to 0, and then again that 2 you are taking equal to 0. Just a second. Directly what we are getting. 51 का आंसर इन्होंने क्या दिया है?
P दिया है शायद।
मैम सी दिया उनने।
They have given C.
मॅम फर्स्ट डेरिव्हेटिव्ह घेतल्यानंतर साइन एक्स येतं ना, साइन 0 0 असतं.
हो ना, अजून एक डेरिव्हेटिव्ह घेतलं त्यांनी. They have taken
मॅम
one
पण
more
आपण
derivative.
फायनाइट वाला काढतोय ना,
हो ना, so unless and
म्हणजे
see.
पुढं त्याचं जायलाच नाही पाहिजे ना असं.
No, just come back again. What is that equation? When you take sin x, when you take the first derivative, a raised to x minus of minus will become plus b sin x and plus minus c e raised to minus x. So when you put here x is equal to 0, sin 0 is 0, but e raised to 0 is 1, na? So you'll get a, yeah, you'll get a minus c equal to 0, which is there in the question number 62. A minus c is there. Okay, that is correct. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and here see they have given the option as a minus b plus c is equal to 0, which is also a correct option. Getting it? A minus b plus c. So that should have been there in that question number 51, but it is not there. So then what is given to you? The alternate sign changing the sign with minus, you are getting this equation. If this was the thing, a plus b plus c divided by 2 should be equal to 0, that is actually equal to this. So such type of thing if it happens, now listen what you have to do. You take the question option C and say there is something called as report invalid option. In your solution, in your portal that will be given to you for maths, there will be an option called as report invalid. So the question, if this question comes, then you have to say report, click on report invalid. So they will cross check what is the problem. Getting it? Because if you take that 2 on other side, then it is also satisfying, na? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you listen?
Ma'am,
Yeah,
answer
so
will you make a plus b plus c?
क्या?
Given answer.
हाँ,
51 का आंसर बी होगा मैम.
नहीं सुनो ना, तो वही मैं बोल रही हूँ, क्लियरली हम लोगों को मिल रहा है कि a minus b plus c is equal to 0, which is more closer to minus a plus b minus c is equal to 0. So you have to pick the most appropriate answer and then say report invalid.
Ma'am, when we put 0, then मैम नीचे भी तो 0 पुट करना पड़ेगा, फिर एक स्क्वायर में तो फिर इन्फिनिटी हो जाएगा मैम, वो तो फाइनाइट थोड़ी होगा मैम फिर वो.
कौन सा?
मैम जब आप 0 पुट कर रहे हो इन 51 क्वेश्चन नंबर,
हाँ
तो आपका
0 by 0 आएगा ना.
b plus c आ रहा है. हाँ 0
सी बी गेटिंग इट ना, बी नीचे है ना x स्क्वायर, आप क्यों भूल रहे हो बार बार? And one more thing, b will never be the answer. Very good, I got the hint. What is it? A plus b plus c by 2. क्यों 0 होगा? It is finite ना. B is never the answer. वो stop हो रहा है वो, तो कभी भी वो 0 होगा ही नहीं. So answer is C only, and that it is most approximate answer because you're multiplying with minus sign. Still, if you feel that there is something wrong in this question, then go for report invalid. If C option is only ticked, you will get the full marks. If it is not ticked, then if it is not correct according to the answers which they have set on the in the server, then they will cross check whether why you have said report invalid, and they'll cross check and they will change the option. That's why I'm telling you, for safest, don't just keep on clicking all the questions as report invalid. The one which you feel, only that you can click on report invalid. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So option B will never be the answer. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So these are the few questions which you have to do. Please try to solve the ones which are easy. Now I'll explain one question of expansion. For example, question number 80. Look at question number 80. Remainings are polynomial and all. You can solve them. That's not difficult. How you are going to get the expansion of limit of this question? Question number 80. Quickly.
We can find the general term of 1 plus 2a, 2 plus b.
AP ची sum to infinity द्यायची ना.
No, absolutely right what he is saying. See, denominator is going to infinity, right? So if I'm able to write the sum of the numerator, then it may become infinity by infinity form. Because right now it is looking that 1 plus 2 plus 3 ... is set. Okay, I don't know how many terms are there. x terms are there, correct? So how many times differentiation भी इसका continued product का नहीं कर सकते. So you have to first write down the formula for sum of the first x terms.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
is it 1 by 2?
I think so. Yes, it should be 1 by 2. Answer is 1 by 2. That's right. कैसे करना है? This 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus dot 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 x which is there, na? This is the sum of first x terms. So what is the formula for? Yeah. What's the formula? X into x plus 1 divided by 2. Yeah. And then the numerator degree is 2 as well as denominator degree is 2. So those x square term will get cancelled. Coefficient of x square in the numerator is 1. Denominator it is 2. And therefore the answer is half. Is this clear to everyone what I said just now?
Yes, ma'am.
Sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3 dot 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 up till x is nothing but x into x plus 1 divided by 2 into x square. That entire expression will become. So when you multiply the numerator, it will become x square plus x upon 2x square. So x square cancel होके आपको मिलेगा 1 plus 1 by x upon 2, I suppose. And therefore, when x goes to infinity, 1 by infinity is 0. So your answer will be 1 by 2. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. Similarly, 81 questions. Sum of the first n square numbers. What's the formula for that?
N into n plus 1
N
into n
into
plus 2
1 into
by
n
6.
to n plus 1 by 6.
Divided by
6.
6. So what's the answer?
1 by 6.
Yes. Is that clear? Coefficient of the highest degree term in the numerator upon coefficient of the highest degree term in the denominator. So x cube का coefficient 1 है. यहाँ पे नीचे x cube का coefficient 6 है. So 1 by 6. Okay. Remaining you will be able to solve because we have solved all those type of questions. Here see. Question number 85. They have given you directly in this f dash by g dash form. So option D is the answer. Okay. There are many questions here. Some of them the options are not correct. So please solve and see whatever answer you get that will be correct. Okay. Which one was not correct? 7. 7 is not A, it is D. And 4 it is not D, it is I think so C. Okay. You go through the questions and see whether you are getting that answer. Okay. You have time for the prelim exam. You can go through maximum whichever questions you are able to do. Then for the final exam, we practice more all the examples that I have shared with you. Okay, fine. So we'll go to the next unit then.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So now unit 2. Just a second. I'll open the question. Unit 2. Yes, let's start with the topics first. Unit 2 is totally Fourier series and harmonic analysis. So Fourier series, all the formulas, you should know them thoroughly. They will be definitely asked for 1 mark. So what is the Fourier series expansion for a function defined in the interval c to c plus 2l? Can anybody tell me? Fourier series expansion for a function f of x defined in the interval c less equal x less equal c plus 2l.
F of x is equal to a naught by 2 plus summation of n is equals to 1 up to infinity an cos nx plus bn sin nx.
And what is
An cos n pi x by
Ma'am, it is
yeah, it's cos n pi x by
and
n.
bn sin of n pi x.
Yes, just a second. Then what is the Fourier series expansion for f of x defined in the interval 0 less equal x less equal 2 pi?
a naught by 2 plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an cos nx plus bn sin nx.
Yeah. Can you see now unit 2 MCQs?
No, ma'am.
You can't see?
Green freeze झाली.
Okay, let me just try then. Stop sharing and again I'll share. Yeah. Can you see now? Fourier series?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So first question that can be asked is well, periodic function. What do you mean by periodic function? So what is that? Periodic function. It should repeat itself after that time period t. So f of x plus t is equal to f of x for all x.
X.
Option A is the answer. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then the Fourier series expansion for 2 pi. Just now I asked you if it satisfies Dirichlet's condition, then what is that? So a naught by 2 plus summation a n cos nx plus b n sin nx. Option A again. Correct?
Yes.
Look at the options which are given. They look alike. Option A and option D. They are almost same. Only in option D summation is not given. So it's an infinite series. So summation should be there. This shows that it is an finite polynomial in cos and sine, but it is summation of such type of terms, isn't it? And option B, C is product. Product is never the answer. It is summation. Okay. Yes. Fourier series of an odd periodic function contains only
Sine.
Sine terms.
yes. So odd harmonics, even harmonics, that is not the thing. What is the thing? It is sine terms. If it is an odd periodic function, then it has Bn, coefficient a naught, an are 0. That's why sine term. Okay. If it is even, then what it contains? It contains cosine terms.
Cosine terms.
Okay. What is the, yeah, this question everybody will get, huh? Only with different values of this coefficient 2, 3 and all. Fundamental period of cos 2x. What is that? Period of cos x is, yeah, period of cos x.
5.
Correct. Period of cos x is 2 pi, and therefore period of cos 2x will be 2 pi by 2, which is pi. So option C. So what is the answer? General answer क्या है इसका? अगर फंक्शन का पीरियड t है तो फंक्शन f of a t का पीरियड रहेगा t by a. तो जो भी नंबर यहाँ पे रहेगा x के साथ, you have to divide that with the period of the function, cos या sin या tan. tan का पीरियड क्या होता है? pi. तो tan 3x का पीरियड है क्या होगा? pi by 2. Okay, that's the answer. Okay. Yeah, one more thing. Just see this. Question number 5. F of x plus nt is equal to f of x, where n is any integer, then the fundamental period of f of x is
T.
C.
t.
T.
T is the answer. Yeah, yeah. And here this is the question. Ax का period क्या होगा? T by a.
By.
Yeah, division by a. Then the definition of even and odd function. If f of x is equal to minus of f of minus x and satisfies Dirichlet's condition, then the Fourier series contains what type of terms? What is the function now? Same question.
Odd.
Which are, yeah,
Odd.
it's odd. And
Only
if it is odd, it contains only sine term. Only sine term. Option
Sine
A.
terms.
Yeah, yeah. Question number 12. Phi of x is equal to f of x plus minus f of x, where phi x satisfies the Dirichlet's condition. Then psi of x can be expanded in Fourier series containing. क्या है इसका आंसर?
Ma'am, is it cosine terms? I'm not sure.
You are not given that it is even or odd.
हाँ इसलिए श्योर नहीं हूँ.
Okay, the option they have given is like this. Just a second, let me think. F of I, psi of x is f of x plus minus.
मैम उन्होंने cosine terms and constant term दिया है नीचे आंसर में.
They have not given the cosine term and they have given the constant term and cosine term. तो देखो अभी इसका आंसर क्या B आंसर दिया है क्या उन्होंने?
हाँ मैम.
This data which is given is insufficient, but still see, if it was option only sine terms आ सकता है क्या? कब आएगा only sine terms? If what will happen?
Odd function.
If it is an odd function, मतलब क्या होना चाहिए कि f of ये जब when I replace psi of minus x should become minus psi of x. So I don't have any condition on f of x and I don't know what is the condition on f of minus x, isn't it? So the answer should have been actually all cosine, sine and constant term सब होना चाहिए था, क्योंकि we don't know anything about f of x. If
ma'am,
yeah,
if we take phi of minus x, then we get f of minus x plus f of x,
which is same as psi of x,
same as phi of x,
and that it is a even function, and therefore it will have only cosine terms and constant term. Yeah, that is the answer, correct. So I have not gone through this question. I am also solving along with you all only. So let's see how we are going about it. That's right. Answer is option B only. Ahead, we'll go for f of x is a periodic function. These are all formulas that we have done earlier also. Something different that we can do. This one, 21 question. In harmonic analysis, the term a2 cos 2x plus b2 sin 2x is called
Second harmonic.
Second harmonic.
Yes. And what to I hope I have given you the formula for amplitude of first harmonic. C. So what is that? C is the answer.
C.
Yeah. Question number 24.
Ma'am, we will put 0 here.
Yes. How did you decide that we'll put it 0?
And because of the interval.
See, when you in the interval minus pi to 0 and 0 to pi, the entire interval is minus pi to pi. So you can think about 0, you can think about pi, not a problem. But what is expected in the answer, that is very important. You want all the terms which are there, 1 by 1 square, 1 by 3 square, 1 by 5 square, and all of them should be with plus sign only, isn't it? So if I put x is equal to 0, cos 0 is 1. Okay, so it will remain as it is, and that's why you have to put x is equal to 0. But suppose if you wanted all to be negative, cos of pi,
x equal to pi.
Yes, then put x is equal to pi. So x is equal to pi or x is equal to minus pi, because cos is an even function, and that would have given you the answer. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's why you will get the answer of cos. Put x is equal to 0. You will get the answer to be pi square will go on top.
Pi square by 8.
Pi square by 8 is your answer. And these identities are fixed. Those who are able to remember it, all odd terms square power summation is pi square by 8. Then there is another expression which is all terms with 1 by 1 square, 1 by 2 square, all that is also something pi square by 12. Alternate plus minus sign is pi square by 6 and all. So if you are able to remember, very good. If not, then put x is equal to the values in that particular interval and you'll get the answer depending on whether you want alternate plus minus signs or all plus signs. For example, question number 25. What you are going to put? Question number 25. The range is minus pi to pi. So you have to put some value of x. X is equal to 0. If you put
0.
And we can put 0.
Yeah, if you put 0, then what you will get is minus 1 raised to n plus 1 upon n square. So first term will be positive, and that's what we want. So pi square is equal to 2 pi square by 3, which will go on other side. Pi square minus 2 pi by 3 will be pi square by 3, and that is pi square by 12, I suppose. Correct? The answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Alternate. Yeah. Okay. So that's the way you should be solving it. And how much time it requires when you know the concepts properly? It will take hardly 10 seconds. But if you don't know, then you'll have to solve it slowly. Also, even if you know it and if you feel that the answer is pi square by 12 is correct, please read the question entirely if time permits at the end. एक घंटा पूरा मिलेगा, और अगर आपका पेपर सपोज आपको क्वेश्चन जो आपने सॉल्व किए वही आए और आपने टिक कर दिया, एंड विद इन half an hour your paper is over. Please go through each and every question once again, read the question properly, and then submit it. Because of the small mistake, maybe you will miss out on 1 or 2 marks, and because of which there will be a problem. Okay, so read the questions again and again.
Yes,
Half range questions will do one. For half range sine series, f of x is equal to x between 0 to 2, period is 4. Fourier series is represented by this Pn sine of n pi x by 2. It is sine series. So then what is the coefficient? Bn, B1. So how you are going to solve this? You'll have to solve by integration only. What is the formula for B1? Here many students they go wrong in taking the formula. It is 2 by L. 2 by L integration 0 to L f of x into sine of 1x, means n is equal to 1. So what it will be, 2 by L. What is L? Again, this also mistake many students have done in the INSEM exam, and entirely they lost 3 marks because everything is wrong. If you take L only wrong, then it is the entire answer will be wrong, na? What is L?
2.
2. Yes. Yes, L is 2. Okay. So upper limit is directly L over here. Even if you don't understand, they have given the period to be 4. So 2L is equal to 4, so L is equal to 2. That way also you can take. But sometimes if they don't mention the period, you will have to take the upper limit as L. So 2 by 2 integration 0 to 2 f of x, that is x, into sine of 1 pi x by 2. So x into sine pi x by 2, that is your integrand. What will be the integration? First integration will be minus x into cos of pi x by 2 divided by pi by 2. So 2 and 2 outside has got cancelled, and your limits are 0 to 2. So minus 2 into cos of x is equal to 2 will give you pi by 2. That is going to become 0, na? So the next term you'll have to calculate. Do the calculations quickly and tell me what is the answer that you are getting.
मैम एक डाउट है मुझे.
या पूछो ना.
मैम वो जो आपने मीन्स जो एग्जाम थी उसमें लिमिट क्या डालनी थी एक्चुअली? मैम लिमिट जैसे आप उधर दिया था पीरियड कुछ तो भी, देन 2L इज इक्वल टू पीरियड ऐसे इक्वेट करना था कि डायरेक्ट लिमिट डालना था?
हाफ रेंज के लिए आपको डायरेक्टली L इज इक्वल टू अपर लिमिट लेना था.
ओके मैम, तो पीरियड से कंपेयर नहीं मींस इक्वल टू पीरियड नहीं करना है?
2L इज इक्वल टू पीरियड करना है ना. पीरियड होता है 2L टोटल होता है. हाँ, तो 2L इज इक्वल टू 4 किया तो भी L इज इक्वल टू 2 ही आएगा ना. लेकिन अगर आपने L इज इक्वल टू पीरियड डाला तो देन योर वैल्यू विल बी L by 2 and that you have taken and you have solved, then it is wrong. Okay. Yes, so what is the answer?
2.
Everybody is getting it too?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. देखो करो. Everybody try to solve it quickly, please, because it's not so easy. You will have to do it. Four by pi is the answer, if I am not wrong. Check. Everybody, how should I show you what answer I have got? What is the question number? What it was?
Yes, ma'am. 4 by pi.
Everybody is getting 4 by pi.
32.
32 था ना?
हाँ मैम.
32 का ऑप्शन क्या लिखा है नीचे? 32 is D.
मैम B दिया है.
It's 4 by pi is the answer. Yes. Just see your first expression when you have to do integration. When B1 is asked, if your function is not even, if the function is even, then the answer is 0. ठीक है. B1 के वैल्यू 0 होते हैं ना. लेकिन ये हाफ रेंज क्वेश्चन है और इसमें B1 पूछा है, तो you have to go for integration. The formula is 2 by L integration 0 to L x sin pi x by 2 dx. So when you do the first integration, 2 by L, 2 gets cancelled and you get minus as the answer. Okay, minus x cos of pi x by 2 upon pi by 2. So when you put x is equal to 2, 2 and 2 gets cancelled, cos pi is minus 1 into minus 2, that is plus 2 divided by pi by 2, which becomes 4 by pi. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll go to the next question. Here, this step just now we did. Fourier coefficient of a naught, x sin x. इसका a naught की वैल्यू कैसे फाइंड करोगे? योर फॉर्मूला Here, what will be the formula for A naught? Tell me quickly. This is full range example. Is it half range or is it even odd function? 28, question number 28. Quickly, question number 28. Even या odd है क्या ये question?
No.
No.
No, ma'am.
Because it is not having midpoint as 0. That's why you have to go for, yeah. So what is A naught? A naught is equal to 1 by L integration, yeah, 0 to 2 pi f of x dx. So what is L? L is 2 pi here because your entire function is between 0 to 2 pi. It's full range example. So L is equal to pi. So 1 by pi integration 0 to 2 pi x sin x. तो इसका integration क्या होगा? This will be 1 by pi x sin x का integration will be x into minus cos x, then minus derivative of x is 1. One more integration of minus cos x is minus sin x, and then you'll stop. Limits are 0 to 2 pi. Sin का term 0 हो जाएगा. What you'll get is only cos term, that is that to upper limit minus 2 pi into cos of 2 pi. So
Yes,
minus 2 is the answer.
Yes,
Is it
ma'am.
okay?
Yes,
It
ma'am.
will take
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, minus 2 is the answer. 30 seconds it takes to solve the question. So you keep your mind cool. Don't panic. All the questions that you have solved only will come. That's the most important thing. Now harmonic analysis, A naught one question, B1 one question, and A1 one question. Everybody will get. Okay. So how do we find A naught? Let's just revise that. A naught is summation 2 by m. Formula you have to revise. Okay. And yeah, many times I've seen that your calculator, you have not used it properly, or you have used that last entry again. That will also give you wrong answer. In your INSEM exam also you have done that mistake. This last point which is there, 6, 9, it is same as 0, 9. So you don't have to take that last value. You have to take only 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't take repeated value. So your formula for A naught is 2 by m summation yi. So what is that? 2 by how many points are there? 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. मतलब total कितने points हो गए? 6. So 2 by 6 into summation of 9 plus 18 plus 24 plus 28 plus 26 plus 20. So that addition you'll have to do and divide it by 3. That will give you the answer. So how much it turns out to be? I think so it is 24 plus 26 is 50.
41.66.
Of 41.66. Yeah, this directly you can do on your calculator. Summation divided by 3. Please, again I'm telling you, never your m will be 7. If you're taking 6 and 9, then your number of points are 7, which will never be the case. Always m is even number. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Quickly tell me now solving what is the value of A naught. Use your calculator and solve and see and try to see how much time it takes. That's the most important part.
Ma'am, which question?
Question number 35.
Ma'am, 41.66.
No, 35.
2.9.
2.9 is the answer. Everybody is getting it.
35.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody is clear with.
Yeah, ma'am, 2.9.
Everybody is getting na 2.9.
Yes, ma'am.
Now just see for B1 what you have to do. Actually, you don't go to do everything again, writing the formula and all. Always the expansion sin x. If time permits, you can go for finding the formula and all. Otherwise, it is 2 by m into summation of this last two rows which are there na, y and sin 2x. Multiply them first. 0 into 0 plus 9.2 into 0.86 plus 14 point into 0.866. Please don't, many students what they do, they add first y, they add sin 2x and then they multiply. That is wrong. Huh? And the answer which you get will be present in the option. Please, your formula is summation of y sin 2x. So you have to multiply first and then add, as the coefficients are not same. they are with negative signs and all. So 0 into 0 plus 9.2, the students who are a bit weak at board mass, they do this mistake. So please don't do such mistakes again. 9.2 into 0.86, 14.4 into 0.866, 17.8 into 0, 17.3 into this, 11.7 into this, then add them and divide by 3 because 2 by 6 is 3. 1 by 3. And what's the answer? That also you tell me. 9.2 multiplied by 0.866 is equal to plus 14.4 multiplied by, and when you're using your calculator, if you don't put the brackets properly, then also your answer will go wrong. Okay, so please put your brackets properly. What's the answer you're getting?
Minus 1.5588.
Correct. Minus 1.558 is the answer. Do the multiplication first, then the addition and divide by 3. So B is the answer of this question. Is it okay? Don't think too much. Directly multiply the terms, and don't, now here it is 0, so it's not going to affect you. But if you, in the question number 37, if you take that 6th entry again, your answer will be different and it will be present in the option. So here you have to just take 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These entries you have to take. So 4 into 1 is 4, plus 8 into half is 4, 15 into minus half is minus 7.5, 7 into minus 1 is minus 7, 6 into minus half is minus 3, 2 into half is 1. So what you've got, 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus this 1 is 9. Okay, 9, and this is minus 7.5 minus 7, that is minus 14, minus 14.5 and minus 3. So minus 17.5, and how much we got? I think so 9. So it will be, what will be the value, total summation? And then you do the division by 3. That will give you the answer. I think so. It will be, minus will be the answer. All of them are in minus only. So this is minus 7.5 minus this, minus 14 and minus 3, minus 17.5. Plus 9. Divide by 3. The answer is not there in the option only. What you've got the answer?
Minus 1.16.
2.833.
Minus 2.833 is the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's not there in the option. So are you getting it? This question is wrong. You have to change that. What is the thing? It is, did you get what is, how we have done it? 4 into 1 is 4. Okay. Plus 8 into half is 4. So 4 plus 4, 8. And the last one, 2 into half is 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. 6 into minus 3, minus half is minus 3. This is minus 7. And this is minus 7.5. So minus 14.5 and minus 3 is minus 17.5. Plus 9 turns out to be minus 8.5. And divide by 3 turns out to be minus 2.833. So that option is there somewhere. Just a second. Let me see. This it is not there. Okay, so the question here, that is wrong. Okay, you change this, the option, the answer for 37, and if you want, you can share it also. Answer for 37 question in the question bank is minus 2.833. Make a note of it. Okay, and similarly again A1 B1. Now here such type of question definitely won't be there for your MCQ, finding the values of A1 as well as B1. It is a question of 4 marks rather than 2 marks. Even you will be asked questions of 1 mark. So one maximum you will be asked A1 or you will be asked A2, B1. Okay. So is there any doubt in unit number 2?
Ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Yeah. Somebody.
Ma'am, वो Parseval's theorem क्या है?
Parseval's identity. Parseval's identity is an expansion of series. ओके मतलब जो हम लोग हार्मोनिक कोएफिशिएंट्स निकालते हैं ना, कोएफिशिएंट्स का यूज करके हम लोगों ने एक आइडेंटिटी लिखी है. सो यू विल हैव टू डू ओनली द स्टेटमेंट ऑफ दैट पार्शियल आइडेंटिटी की, जो हम लोगों ने क्लास में किया है. ओके या एनीथिंग एल्स फ्रॉम यूनिट 2 दैट यू वांट टू आस्क?
मॅम
या
मॅम जास्ती करून N6च येतो ना, इथे 7 आलाय ना BN च्या इथे मॅम.
कधीच नाही, 7 कधीच येणार नाही. 7th वन इज रिपीटेड ॲज द फर्स्ट वन. म्हणजे आपण परत पहिल्याच पोझिशनला आलेलो आहोत, त्यामुळे ती परत रिपीटेड व्हॅल्यू नाही यूज करायची. रिडंडन्सी नकोय, त्यामुळे 7th व्हॅल्यू घ्यायची नाही कॅल्क्युलेशन मध्ये.
कारण की इथे x0 इज इक्वल टू काय मॅम 0, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180 दिले. मग परत 0 तर नाही दिले ना मॅम. 0 ला पण घ्यावं लागतं ना.
हो ना, ऐक ना, आता ह्यांनी हो ना, एक मिनिट बघ सांगते तुला. हे त्यांनी अर्धाच क्वेश्चन लिहिलाय इकडे. दिस इज द हाफ रेंज साइन सिरीज. This question which they have typed here na, this is half range sine series. So 180 means it is the half range, so it is getting repeated and it is giving you the same value as 0.
Okay ma'am.
That's why it should not be taken. Okay, आता suppose असाच प्रश्न विचारला, same type of question is asked, then also we are doing parts na, we are dividing in two parts, so always the number of parts will be even, so the one which is repeated should not be taken. That's the condition. Okay, yeah. Any other doubt? Yes. Now third and fourth unit are left. So it's already 1 o'clock. What should we do? Should we take a break or we'll continue?
Ma'am, thoda break.
Everyone? Or how many?
Yeah, ma'am, break.
Yeah, just a
Ma'am, I had a doubt.
Yeah, ask.
In that 40th question.
Yeah. What is it? The value of
ma'am,
A1.
Yeah, so in that the period is not mentioned, right? Like it is 2 pi.
See, what is the thing now? 0. They are asking you only AIs. Now you should be a bit smart also. When they are asking you only AIs, that means it will be an cosine series. They have mentioned Fourier cosine series. That means it is half range cosine series. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Now each part is of how much width, what is the length, or what is the middle difference? Pi by 4. Isn't it? 0 to pi by 4. Pi by 4 plus pi by 4 is pi by 2. Pi by 2 plus pi by 4 is 3 pi by 4. And 3 pi by 4 plus pi by 4 will be pi.
Okay.
So what is the half period? Pi is the half period.
Pi. Okay, like that.
Like that. So you should look at the question, read the question. If they have not given the entire data, they have mentioned cosine series. That means it is only cosine, means it is half range cosine, and therefore it will be half range, and hence pi will be your L value.
Okay, but the period will be 2 pi.
Full range period will be 2 pi.
2
L
pi,
will be
okay.
pi. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Just a second. I have stopped sharing the screen, right? So do you want
Yes.
to? Yeah. Only 58 students are there now. Rest all of them have left. खुद से पढ़ने के लिए गए क्या?